Welcome to Telling It Like It Is, Islanders preview. This gentleman over here on the other side of the screen is Mr. Michelle here, a former student. Big Islander fan, biggest Islander fan I know. I told him when he was a student I couldn't wait to have him on, but I had to wait till he graduated so we don't get in trouble. Yep. So I said, I can't wait. As soon as I had to do a hockey preview, I said, I'm calling Dr. Michelle. There's no doubt about it. He's going to be my hockey guy. Loves his hockey, loves his Islander hockey. I'm a Islander fan, but I'm not as avid a fan as you are. How you been, first of all?
I've been doing great. How have you been?
I'm doing good. It's teaching and coaching, same old stuff. Having fun with the podcast. I understand you had a message from Mr. Sebesta?
Yes, Mr. Sebesta is very passionately confident that he gave you those McGriddles.
Okay, I'll have to go back in time and see if I can find it. I don't remember doing it, but I'll take his word for it because I know the other Dolphin fan didn't give me a McGriddle. Who was the other Dolphin fan we had? He didn't give me any McGriddles.
I think he said like Zach Lewis didn't give
he didn't give me any. Another Dolphin fan had the kid with the blonde hair, and he didn't give me any McGriddles. Maybe it was him that didn't give it to me. That was a Dolphin fan. But so you pumped up for your Islanders this year?
Oh, I am very pumped up.
Yeah, you must. Now, when's the first game? Do you know?
I know it's like the last weekend of October that we start,
Awesome.
but it sucks because with UBS Arena not finished yet, we have 13 straight away games before our home opener.
Oh, that sounds like ESM stuff right there. We didn't get the turf down before the football season started.
Yeah.
But it's great to have you. Appreciate you coming on, and it's always good to have students on. I have a former Penguin fan I might have on. I'm working on that, but the thing I always like to ask people who are big time fans like yourself, who's your Mount Rushmore of Islander players, if you don't mind? Any criteria you want, by the way. Who's your favorite four? It doesn't have to be the best, just your favorite four.
It's definitely got to be people from the dynasty back in the 80s. So I'd have to go with the likes of Mike Bossy.
Oh, I love Mike Bossy, yeah.
Brian Trottier.
Oh, yes.
Best goalie we've ever had.
Yep.
All right, why did I say Trottier was the goalie? That's my next pick.
Billy Smith. I know who you meant.
Billy Smith. He's the best goalie we've ever had.
Oh, definitely.
And definitely Potvin. He's the one that started it all.
Yeah, that great Potvin chant. Potvin sucks. Remember that was a crazy chant back in the day, but I love Potvin. He was a dirty player, but I liked him on our team, But it's Potvin was great. My favorite Islander back then was John Tonelli. John Tonelli would go into there are no corners in a hockey, but he would dig out the puck out of the corners, and he was always the guy who was just so fast. And him and Bobby Bourne and Bobby Nystrom, those are my three favorites. And of course, Billy Smith. I really love Billy Smith. We all owe Billy Smith a debt of gratitude.
Yes.
But who's your favorite Islanders now?
Gotta be Anders Lee, the captain. And I'm a big fan of our young guy, Oliver Wahlstrom. I'm a big fan.
Whose jersey you have on today? You got Anders Lee on today?
I've got Anders Lee on. Keep the captain.
Excellent. Now, is he healthy again and everything?
Yeah, he actually came back last night for the preseason game. Scored a nice goal.
Good. I'll hold it for you. Hold on a sec. Okay. So you got your Anders Lee on, and he came back last night, you say?
Yeah, he came back last night, his first game back healthy, and he's back to dominating in the crease. He got a nice goal yesterday.
Great.
What I expected at him.
Now, let me ask you something about this year's team. Did your team address any of the offseason needs in your mind? First of all, did they have any offseason needs that you saw?
I would say the biggest need we had was replacing the two spots when we got rid of Leddy and when the Kraken took Eberle in the expansion draft. And we filled them up. We got Chara back for a 1-year deal, and then we signed Zach Parise.
Awesome. And you feel that that's definitely will cover the guys that we lost.
I'm not sure if Parise would be as good as Eberle was, but Leddy struggled last year, and with Chara being like 6'9", the force that he is, it's definitely gonna help.
Yeah, well, it's funny. The offseason is so important, and only real fans really follow the offseason because it's funny because, like, I'll go on these Oakland A's websites and I'll be like, damn, we lost so and so. And even though he was only a role player, he might have been a really good player for us. And I know hockey's such a chemistry game, and sometimes you can never put your finger on the chemistry, you know?
Yeah.
Hockey's so much a team sport. I mean, you really got it. The Islanders just seem to have a real nice chemistry the last couple of years. It just really is. It's they seem to respect each other and they seem to play hard together. And that's all you could ever ask. So you like the off season. Okay. Well, now I noticed we're going back to the old 4 division format, right?
Yes.
Now you're in favor of that? Are you happy with last season's format? You like this one better or?
I mean, either way, we have the toughest division in the whole league.
Okay.
Like last year, they threw the Bruins in the division with us.
Oh, and they're
that,
tough, yeah.
that was tough as it is. But even though they're gone, we got the Hurricanes back in the division.
Oh boy, yeah.
And the Blue Jackets, which the Blue Jackets replaced where the Sabres were. So I guess that's even worse because the Sabres are terrible. But I mean, either way, it's a tough division.
So now you got the Devils, the Rangers, you got us, you got the Hurricanes. It's gonna be a tough division, yeah. Flyers. Unbelievable. So now, why did they go back to the traditional way? Do you know, or that last year was just a COVID year? Or
I'm not sure. I think last year was just COVID year, and they just did whoever was closest that they didn't have to like deal with any of the COVID restrictions.
Okay, and the travel, I guess they're trying to save on the travel.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. So saving on the travel, especially this theory that you don't want to be in the air that long and things of that nature. I think that's a positive. Now, here's the thing: since you're young and you didn't get to see the 4 Cups, what's your best moment as Islander fan do you remember first?
now it's a pretty recent memory because the
That's
Islanders
fair.
went through a period that we weren't very relevant.
Yes, that's correct.
The best memory I'd have to say was this past postseason, Game 6 in our Tampa series when we came back from a 2-0 deficit.
Wow.
Brought it to overtime and Beauvillier put it in the net. And that was the last game we've ever played in the Coliseum.
Wow. Yep, that's right. That's right. You're right about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Tampa's tough. Tampa's been good for a bunch of years. They've had, you would never think of Florida as a hockey place, but they've had a good run down there. They've had Tampa, they had Florida team, and they have other Florida squad there, and they've done a good job. I mean, like you just don't associate Vegas or Florida with hockey, and here they are. They're getting cups and everything else.
Definitely.
So, and mentioned the division before. What do you think of the division outlook? I mean, but I know you mentioned some good teams already, but you like our chance in the division, or where do you think we'll finish in this division?
I mean, with how we've been for the past few years, like we've always been in this tough division. Sure. I'd say we're definitely one of the top 3 teams in it because I'd say the other teams that would be competitive are the Hurricanes, Penguins, and the Capitals.
And the Caps. Ovechkin never goes away.
Ovechkin's never going to go away. But
yeah, the Penguins are good again.
Yeah, the Penguins are good. Who knows how many years Crosby has left?
Sure.
The Rangers have a new head coach, so we got to see how they do with them. Their new head coach is the one that brought Vegas to the conference final the first year.
So now, why did Vegas get rid of him?
I'm not too sure. I didn't really follow Vegas that much.
In hockey, it seems like coaches change quicker than any other sport.
Yeah,
it seems weird. I mean, hockey, they'll get rid of guys that did a great. What's that?
We got the best coach in the league.
Oh, you definitely do, yeah. But I mean, in hockey, I feel like guys will win Coach of the Year, and then a year later they're gone. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I think the Hurricanes coach won Coach of the Year this year.
Okay, and now with that division outlook as a whole, with the conference, who else in the eastern side of the map is tough besides the teams in our division?
Definitely Tampa. They're a big one. They went back to back, and they are the team to beat.
Right. They didn't lose anybody that's going to crush them, or they're still solid.
I mean, Yanni Gourde, I know, went from the expansion draft. I'm not really sure who else went from the team, but they ended up, they gave, what was his name? Braden Point.
Okay.
They just gave him the bag, so.
Oh, wow.
Been there for a while now.
So they're gonna be obviously tough.
Yeah, they are the team to beat.
Okay, now
Boston's back in that division.
That's good. Thank God.
And then who else from the East? I'd say pretty much from the other divisions, Boston and Tampa.
And the funny thing was, not only was the division so brutal last year, but you only played games in that division. So the division got crushed twice. At least now
Yeah.
you have the balanced schedule again, because the other way you're only playing these great teams in your division. It was hard.
Yeah, eight. I think it was 8 games from each team in our division we had to play.
Oh, that was brutal. I understand why they did it, but now at least you get a balanced schedule. Maybe we could pick up some more wins against some of those conference teams that are out the West. There, get a couple of W's out there. I guess that was a brutal schedule last year. I remember all the hockey. We have a lot of teachers that are big hockey fans. I remember all the Ranger fans complaining how tough the schedule was, and Islander fans too, both complaining that it was brutal. Me being a casual observer, I was just like, whoa, then you took a look and you're like, yeah, this one division was loaded and we all playing each other, beating each other up.
It was like a playoff
Terrible.
game every week with how tough these
Yeah,
teams are.
it's crazy. Now, in the Western Conference, is how the Kraken going to be? By the way, what do you think?
I don't know. Their biggest signing was definitely Grubauer, the former goalie on the Avalanche. That
Okay.
was surprising to me. They signed him for 6 years.
And who else will be good in the other conference there? Anybody else that stands out in your head?
Vegas is always competitive. The
Sure.
Avalanche. Depends how Montreal does it again this year. See if they could have.
It's such a great run. It's such a great run last year. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Amazing run. And then you just knew that they were going to get murdered in the cup, though.
Yeah.
You can see they were going to get crushed.
And then you got Edmonton with McDavid and Draisaitl.
McDavid, everybody. Now, a lot of people tell me he's the best. Is he the best player in the game, you think, or what?
He's definitely top 3, if anything. He just won the Hart Trophy last year.
Right.
He's the only player with 100 points in that short of a season.
Wow. Yeah. Guess I had a guy on for the preview for the playoffs. One of my former students, John Ferrone. He's a big Flyer fan, unfortunately for him. And he was telling me how much, how good McDavid was. I mean, he's a guy who's, he's about 10 years older than you and he just loves hockey like you do. And he's like, I've never seen anything like this guy. He didn't see Gretzky, obviously, but he's, just told me how great this kid was. And then it was funny because then he didn't have a great playoff series. And so John texted me like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I said on the podcast how good he was.
They got swept.
Yeah, they got swept. And he's like, he didn't have a great series. I feel bad. I said, don't feel bad. I'm telling you like it is. We make predictions. We don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're not a bunch of wusses. We tell it like it is. We come after people. We don't care. We don't get crazy about it. I shouldn't have my Magic Johnson shirt on for hockey, but I don't want to lie to you and come on with a fake jersey and tell you that, I'm all pumped up here. I'll be watching hockey, but playoff hockey to me is my favorite thing to watch about hockey. You get those overtime games. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
Nothing better than overtime. When you get overtime game 7 is just a blast.
Definitely.
Hey, how are the Rangers going to be this year? They had some young stars. They should be definitely getting better, right?
I think so, because if the coach does as good as he did with Vegas, they're definitely going to improve. And
Yeah.
their young star Lafreniere, I think he's got potential to do good.
Right.
So.
And they added isn't Panarin a good player as well? I mean, didn't they?
He's a really good player.
Yeah,
NHL, I think ranked him in their top 10 players in the league.
And now what year is he? Second year, third year?
Panarin, he's been here a few years. Lafreniere, this will be his second year. Panarin, I think
that's the kid I'm thinking of. Lafreniere was the kid who had those great assist stats in the minors, right?
Yeah,
Lafreniere was great. Yeah, so he's going to be setting up everybody. So it's great to. Well, I mean, I'm rooting for the Islanders, obviously, but the Devils, we got their executive, so we took away from them. So we got Lou away from the Devils, but that was good. But so what's the strength of the Islanders, you think?
Our strength is definitely the defense.
Okay.
With the likes of Pulak and Pellig, we have a lockdown defense every game.
That's great. That's great.
That's the best part of our team.
And the goalie solid?
Yeah, we got Varlamov, who has gotten a lot better since he's joined us, and we have a young upcoming star in Sorokin.
Good. That sounds good. Now we got all our key guys on defense healthy and stuff, or are we banged up, or how are we right now?
We're all healthy as far as I'm aware of. Everything's good. And we got Chara.
Yeah, Chara. Yeah, well, you said you're high on him. Now I got to ask you the bad question. If you had to pick a weakness, or maybe you don't see any. If you had to pick a weakness, put your coach's hat on there, and what would you say the weakness is?
I definitely have a weakness. It's got to be our power play.
I was just going to ask you that. Oh, that's the special teams. And me, I always call it special teams. Yeah. Now, what do you think it was weak about it from last year?
It's been like it for a while. We tend to not take as many shots on the power play. We just keep passing it around looking for that perfect shot.
Right.
And it doesn't come if you don't put shots on the net. And then
Yeah, you can't score if you don't shoot it. Yeah.
you only
Now-
have 2 minutes with that extra
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Now, how did they address that for this year? Is anybody they picked up that could be a sniper like for us, or?
I wouldn't really say we picked up anybody sniper like for that. We still got our same snipers, but we really just got to take more shots on the net on our power plays, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, have you read up on the coach maybe addressing that, or you haven't heard anything if they're going to address that, or?
I haven't really heard anybody addressing that. That's just what I see, that we definitely need to.
Okay, so the thing is, so you haven't read that they've addressed the philosophy or anything, but we have a great coach, so I guess we can't question. But the power play is always big on every team. Obviously, it's special teams. How is our power play killing? Did you like that?
Our power play killing is definitely way better than when we're on the power play, just because of how locked down our defense is. We
Okay.
know how to kill it. But
Okay.
yeah.
So for me, the special teams area is something we'll have to watch. As a casual fan, I'll definitely check that out. I'll definitely keep my eye on that. Now I have to give you a little. We got 3 real tough questions for you. Best case scenario for this team, and I know you're a realistic fan, so obviously the best case for them is probably pretty good. What's best case scenario?
Now, I'm not trying to be like every fan that just says we're going all the way every year.
Yeah, but they have a chance. The Islanders all have a chance. Yeah.
We truly do have the potential to go all
Yes.
the way.
Well, they proved that last year.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Yeah, they proved that last year in the conference finals last year. There's no doubt. Now, what's the worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario, our division's tough. So I'd say worst case scenario is either first round exit or just missing the playoffs.
Right. Now, is missing the playoffs even possible unless we get really injured or something? I think we're pretty solid there, right?
We would have to royally screw it up, in my opinion. To miss the playoffs, we would have to royally screw it up.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. All right. But so we're much better on the power play defense is what you're saying. The worst case scenario would be missing the playoffs, but like you said, division's tough. But you got to be in the top 8, right, to make the playoffs?
Yes, I believe it's 4 from each division.
So they're doing it that way. Okay. Okay.
That's what we did last year. I gotta touch up on that if we're doing that again this year.
Sure. Sure.
That's how it was this past year. It was top 4 from each division.
Okay. And my final question for you, and don't be shy, what's your prediction for the season?
I feel like it would be bad juju if I said anything less than the Stanley Cup.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We
you
have
know,
that potential. I could taste it.
Yeah. And you know what? That would be a blast to see it again. Now, have you heard anything about the new arena? Because I haven't.
I actually had a picture sent on my phone today. They were setting up the Titantron screens.
Nice.
And I think they were starting to pour the ice soon.
And
too.
what's the location of it?
It's in Elmont, right next to the racetrack. The horse track.
Cool. That's gonna be fun. I wonder how far that is from us. I guess that's probably a half hour, an hour.
It's a lot closer than going to the Barclays, but I think it might be a little past the Coliseum where that would have been.
Nice. That's gonna be fun though to have an arena, not too far again. Now, I guess in comparison to the Coliseum, it might be a little further.
Yeah, I think it is a little further from the Coliseum, but I don't think it's that bad.
Right. Yeah. And of course, you're a big fan. You don't care. You're just gonna go.
I just be going.
Yeah. So you're expecting the Islanders to do great things. So once the playoffs start and the Islanders are in, we'll definitely have to have you back on for a playoff preview. Whoever they're playing in that first round, assuming they'll make it, knock on wood. we'll have to prepare for whoever that first round is, and we'll go from there. But it's always good to have you. It's great having you on Telling It Like It Is. First time. We'd like to have you back all the time. We like to have anytime you want to come on. If you ever have an Islander rant that you want to go off on, anything, whether it be you're upset about something, I invite all fans. It doesn't matter what the topic. If there's ever something you need to get off your chest, we will take you on.
I will keep that in mind.
Yep, you text me. Well, the Island has been winning so much, it's hard to have a rant. Like one night, I went off the reservation. The A's just blew a game so bad, and coach mismanaged the bullpen. I did a special podcast that night. I couldn't take it anymore. It was actually it's my number one rated podcast too, because I went off on Bob Melvin there, and I had to do it. Just couldn't take it. It was like 12:30 at night. I'm like, I don't care. I'm firing up the computer right now. But so it's good to have you, and we'll be in touch during the season. We can keep in touch. Like I said, if you ever want to come on, with thanks to having Dr. Michelle here on the Islander podcast, the Islander preview. Hopefully, my Ranger fans will not be so shy, and it's very exciting to have you on here. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.